Norman Rockwell is the name of the new album from Lana Del Rey, and look who's here. It's Lana Del Rey. I can't believe it.
In the flesh.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
There are two words that have stood out to me as people have listened to this record and described this record. I want to know if you agree. I want you to maybe tell me what it means, if you feel like you can tell me what it means.
Okay.
It's a mood record.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Are those the two words?
No, just mood.
Mood,
just mood.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, it's an album kind of without any one particular big song. And so kind of like easy to listen to track if you're driving or so in that way. Yeah, it's kind of like a turn on leaving living room.
Sure, that's
album.
great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What about Defiant? I've seen it described as a defiant record.
A defiant record.
Yeah.
I would say that, that'd be amazing. I love that word.
Sure.
I'd say in my mind, it's thoughtful because it's so wordy.
Yeah.
There's just so many words. And each song is so many of the songs are so long, like from 7 minutes to 10 minutes. And so, it definitely breathes.
Yeah. Do you write in the car? Did I see that that's where kind of most of the writing happens?
I think so.
Yeah. How does that happen?
Well, I'm in traffic all day.
My first instinct was, how does that happen? And then it was like, how does that happen safely?
Well, I've got my phone voice notes. If I'm driving for more than an hour, I've probably got some kind of tape recorder or my phone just like running on my shoulder.
Sure. Gotcha.
So
that's cool.
Don't you
That's
worry.
Good. I'm glad. Safety first with Lana Del Rey.
You're all safe.
Cool.
Most of the time.
One of the things I think that has stood out with you and the albums that you have made and the music that you have given us is that, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, is you've kind of existed inside of a bubble. It's very clear that you've had a vision. You've stuck to that vision.
Yeah.
And while the rest of the musical world kind of goes on around you and there are trends and there this sort of thing, you've kind of done what you've done. There's been growth clearly.
Yeah.
But you stuck to your vision, and it's very much, I feel like, the case with this upcoming album. And it led me to Jack Antonoff. How did he help you kind of stay true to that vision, but also kind of progress as a songwriter?
Yeah, I feel like my process, it's funny, obviously, looking back on stuff, you have a clearer picture, but it has been a bit of it hasn't been like a more insular process, like making all the records, but I am a little bit of that kind of person where I sort of need to like leave the middle of the culture or the center of whatever's going on to really keep my finger on the pulse of it. Not that that's important, but just how it is. And so I kind of need to be a little bit on the periphery to really gather my thoughts and also like be an observer. And Jack, for instance, is like a lot more in the mix. Like he's super social. He is like out all the time, pretty funny. And when I met him, I wasn't writing at the time, but he just wanted me to come down to his home studio and see what we would cook up that day. And we wrote a song called Love Song in an hour. And I was like, oh, this guy is like, he's really different. He's really talented, quarterly.
Can you describe kind of like how? What does that mean that he's different?
Well, his musicianship it's different from most people's because, for instance, we only have like three or four additional instrumentalists in the entire record because he plays the sitar, he plays like a little cocktail drum set, he plays the real drum set, bass, guitar, piano, mellotron, Juno. So he's just really, his ability is just so wild. I feel like his musicianship it's equal to my ability to find a beautiful melody. So we moved pretty quick.
And the plan wasn't initially to make an entire record with him,
no,
right?
Not really.
It just kind of worked out that way, and that's a testament, I think, probably to your guys' artistic relationship and kind of how that worked out.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a cool thing. We've obviously been fans of Jack for a while through his work with Fun and Bleachers, in addition to the stuff that he's produced.
Totally.
And it's just cool. It's cool seeing a good guy who clearly loves music.
I agree.
get to do that with such talented people.
Yeah.
It's absolutely the
He's
case.
got a lot of energy. He's always doing the most.
Sure. How important is the state of California to you?
Pretty important.
Yeah, it seems to kind of impact everything. More so, I feel like, than with other artists. Can you explain how?
Well, like as much as I need to sort of stay, I don't know, like on the edge of things socially, I also like need to go back and forth from LA quite a lot. So like being in San Diego and San Francisco is really important, and just for me to like get away to come home and feel creative.
Sure.
So a lot of my time is on the road, and then just kind of thinking about what I'm going to do when I get back and how I can sort of stay creative when I leave. So it's a little bit of a I don't know, it's very just the state and the weather and how like easy going everything is very helpful to my process.
Yeah.
But also when I was in New York, like I was very New York centric, and I think I'm just pretty influenced by wherever I am.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I think that's a pretty natural
I soak it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Norman Rockwell a particularly California album? It certainly feels like it has like nautical and surf themes.
It definitely is a California album.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that there's even a song called California on it, which is a cool little track.
Yeah.
And even like this little song I wrote before I even started the album called Bartender is like about ladies of the canyon. And even though it could seem a little bit on the nose, like it's also really, fun and current to what's going on with me. So
from the outside looking in, it feels like with album number 6, and it's been like this for a little bit, but certainly with album number 6, that a lot of the bullshit surrounding Lana Del Rey has kind of fittered away, and now the focus is the music and the artist. When you first came out, I felt like there was a lot of that, and you've been able to power and plow your way through that.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you, I was going to say, do you have that sense? Does it feel like that?
I
to
do.
you? Are you more comfortable now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Good.
It's definitely tougher in the beginning.
I would imagine so. Yeah, there was a lot of, I think, unfair and sometimes mean scrutiny.
Absolutely.
And I think that, like I said, I think that you staying true to the vision has, and over time has persevered. And again, that stuff has a tendency just to kind of float away. So
it does if you keep going.
Sure. Yeah.
But you do have to be persistent.
Yeah.
And I feel like, thank God I had like a bit of an inner knowledge that like I love to write. So if that's the one thing then like, just keep writing.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a more challenging entry way.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are you a surfer? Is that you surfing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a surfer. That is me surfing.
Yes.
But I'm trying to be, and I'm gonna be.
If that's you surfing, I would qualify you as a surfer. I'm not.
I kind of looked like a triangle, like trying to like.
You did well.
Stay put.
We're talking about her latest music video, which you can see below this conversation right here. Did I hear that you also rollerblade? Is that true?
Like.
That's what I heard.
How did you hear that?
I don't know. How does anybody hear anything?
Well,
is that true?
I thought I could rollerblade. I brought rollerblades to the set, and I was like, watch me. I figure skated for 15 years.
Yeah.
And then all of the grips, like, watched me fall on my face, and I was like, okay, we will try something else.
Sure.
So.
I think you're being modest.
No, I'm not. I really.
Okay. Generally, when an artist has been in the studio for a while, they are itching to get out and play shows, and artists who have been playing shows for a while are itching to get back in the studio. Does that mean that you are in a place right now where you're excited to get out and play these songs live?
Yeah, but we've been playing all summer.
Sure, yeah.
We had like a solid 11 or 12 shows over the summer, so we've been like bringing in like a couple of songs like Venice Bitch and Mariner's Apartment Complex, and we did the Sublime cover. So I'm kind of in my groove, but I'm really excited to like do venues like Jones Beach or the Bowl or the Greek, just because those big open air theaters are so easy to sing at with the acoustics. So I'm getting ready to get all my friends to come down and visit me.
Fun. Cool.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Sublime cover. Was there pressure when that idea came up? it seems again, this is from the outside looking in, someone who has not had to do this. When the idea of doing a song from Sublime comes up, that would terrify me. Did it terrify you?
For sure.
You nailed it. You did a good job.
You nailed it.
Yeah. Just so you know, I don't know if anybody's like looked you in the eye and told you that yet, but you did a great job.
Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely said no before I said yes,
Yeah,
and then
sure.
then I said maybe, and then I was like, okay, yes, but just because I love that record.
Was there a point where you knew that it was working, as you were kind of going through
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
as soon as like I left the studio before it was done, but obviously all my vocal layers were down, and I was working with someone that I know but that I had never worked with before, Andrew Watt.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know what I was gonna get in the morning. But when I left it, if you leave it at night and it's pretty good, you know it's gonna be even better in the morning.
Good.
So I was really surprised how different it sounded from like my stuff. Like it made me realize how folky my sensibility starts until I meet someone else who's a little more like, let's do this, like super high energy.
Well, yeah, like I said, it turned out really well.
Thank you.
It is a hard thing to do. And again, it's one of those things on first listen, you're like, okay, that makes sense. And I feel like even the most skeptical of Sublime fan would agree. They would be like,
Yeah, maybe not the most skeptical.
well, those people can go straight to hell. That's what I say. Awesome. Lana Del Rey, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Again,
Appreciate
Norman
it.
Rockwell is the name of the new album. She'll be at the Hollywood Bowl this October. And yeah, could not be more excited.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
It's Lana Del Rey on Alt 98.7.